YouTube. Today we're going to be talking about the song Maniac in an acoustic, solo acoustic version. This is by Mike Sembello in the early 80s. It was one of the most iconic songs out there at that particular time. It was associated with the movie Flashdance, and it's a great song. Normally it's done on synthesizers and keyboards, but this version is for solo acoustic guitar, which I think it's entirely playable, and if you can get someone to sing it, this is a great song. Get a little bass going. The guitar's in standard tuning, and as before, I will play you a snippet of the song, and then I will break it down and show you how to play this great tune. So let's go ahead and get started. Small town girl on a Saturday night for the fight of a life. In the real time world, no one sees her at all. They all bet she's crazy. Rhythms to the beat of a heart, changing movement into night. Dancing to the danger zone when the dancer becomes alive. Can't cut you like a knife when the gift becomes a fire on the wire between what and what will be. She's a maniac, maniac on the floor, and she's dancing like she's never danced before. She's a maniac, maniac on the floor, and she's dancing like she's never danced before. Okay, let's go ahead and talk about how to play this great song. The introduction to Maniac essentially starts with playing a little riff on the D string, the G string, and the B string. And you do that by putting your first finger on the second fret of the B string, and then you put your middle finger on the third fret of the B string. And you're going to have a little pattern where you're going to be just essentially playing the three strings, D, G, and B. And you lift your middle finger. Okay, that's how it starts out. But the strumming is a little more rapid. It's a back and forth, back and forth. So it's back, 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 1 and 2. And then you're going to lift your pointer finger to an open and play the three strings. And then hammer back down on the second fret of the B string. And then you're going to go to a B minor 7th position. This is laying your finger across the second fret, all the strings of the on the second fret, and then you put your middle finger on the third fret of the B string, and then you put your ring finger on the fourth fret of the D string. And you're going to be sort of hammering on in the same manner, playing only those three strings, the D, the G, and the B string. So you're just lifting your fingers up to get that same little beat. And on the regular strumming speed, it's 1 and 2, and 1 and 2, and 1 and 2, and 1 and 2. Okay, so let's hear how that goes together. So the song, you've got to get this down because really the song depends on this intro. It sets the tone, and the guitar player is going to set the speed. So it's like this. Thinking about it a little too much. Okay, but that's how you play the intro. So you're going to play that part. It's going to go. Okay, then you get into the verse, which starts on a B minor. Just a small town. Okay, it's just the first position B minor. You lay your finger across the second fret. You put your ring finger on, or you put your middle finger on the third fret of the B string, your ring finger on the fourth fret of the D string, and your little finger on the fourth fret of the G string. And you're just going to play from the fifth string down. So it's standard B minor. Just a small town girl on a... Then you're going to go to a B minor sixth in the first position. You do a B minor sixth by putting your middle finger on the second fret of the A string, your pointer finger on the first fret of the G string, and then you put your ring finger on the second fret of the high E string. It's kind of a chord with a tension on it, so you just got to get that. So it's going to go from a B minor, just a small town girl on a Saturday night. You hear the tension? Then you're going to go to a B minor seventh in the first position. So you lay this, your finger on the second fret of all the strings. You put your middle finger on the third fret of the B string. You put your ring finger on the fourth fret of the D string. And you strum from the fifth string down. Looking for the fight of her. And then you're going to go to a B minor major seventh. Now, that sounds like a little bit of a scary chord. It really isn't. Again, you're going to have your finger all across the second fret of all the strings, and then you're going to just use your ring finger and your little finger to cover the third fret of the G string and the B string. And you're going to strum from the fifth string down. Another tension chord. So there's like 4 different B minor variations in this first 2 lines. So I'll play it slowly. B minor, B minor sixth, B minor seventh, B minor major seventh. So let me play it at a faster speed. You'll see how they go together. Just a small town girl on a Saturday night, looking for the fun of her life. Okay, the third line of the verse then starts on a G. In the real-time world, no one sees her at all. They all think she's crazy. So let me walk through those chords. It starts on a G, first position G, just like normal. In the real-time world. And then you're going to make a G add 9. And you do make a G add 9 by taking your pointer finger and putting it on, lifting it and putting it on the second fret of the G string. So it's a little subtleness. No one sees her at all. And then the next chord is a G6 no fifth, and that's an easy chord. And to do that, you take any finger, take your middle finger and put it on the fifth fret of the A string, and you're basically just playing the middle 4 strings. They all say she's crazy. They all say she's crazy. And then you're going to go to an F sharp suspended fourth. So you're going to go F sharp suspended fourth. And then you do that by laying your finger across the second fret of all the strings, and then you're going to lay your ring finger on the fourth fret of the A string, the D string, and the G string. And you're just going to play these upper 4 strings, basically. They all think she's crazy. Little tension. F sharp suspended fourth, and resolve it to an F sharp seventh, which is made by all the fingers on the second fret, and then you put your middle finger on the third fret of the G string and your ring finger on the fourth fret of the A string. And you're just playing, again, the upper 4 strings. And make sure you get your F sharp bass there, second fret, low E string. So let me play that so you know how that sounds. In the real-time world, no one sees her at all. They all think she's crazy. Then the second verse starts out the same way with the B minor. Locking rhythms into the beat of a heart. Same thing. And you go through that same little B minor 6, B minor 7th, B minor major 7th, and the G's that I just showed you. Then sort of the pre-chorus is going to be, starts out on an E7th. Now I like to play this with the E7th that is up here in the 5th fret. It's that C7 shape, and you slide it up to the 5th fret. You put your ring finger on the 7th fret of the A string, your middle finger on the 6th fret of the D string, your little finger on the 7th fret of the G string, and then your pointer finger on the 5th fret of the B string. And now you're going to use the E as your bass. So that's a great E7. It can catch you like a... Then you're going to go back to the F sharp 7th and the 2nd fret that I showed you a few minutes ago. If the gift becomes the fire, to a G. On the wire between, to an F sharp suspended 4th again. What will it, what will be? Resolving it to an F sharp 7th. So let me play it at a faster speed, using the last 2 lines above that of the verse. It can cut you like a knife if the gift becomes a fire on the wire between what will and what will be. Okay? Sorry about my singing. Okay, now we finally get into the chorus, which I think is the funnest part of this song. So you're going to start on a G, first position G. She's a maniac, to an A. Maniac, first position A. I always do it with a lay down A. It's just a little easier to get to. On the floor. Now, you go to a B minor 7th. And that's where you do this little bouncing. You're going to do, very much like in the intro, you take a B minor 7th shape, and then you lift these fingers, and you're just playing basically from the 5th string down. Got to get that strum, so faster. It's like this. She's a maniac, maniac on the floor. Get that bounce. And she's dancing like she's never danced before. Bounce. She's a maniac, maniac on the floor. She's dancing like she's... And the last line of the chorus goes from G to an A suspended 2nd, which is essentially an A, and you just lift your pinky off. Middle finger's on the 2nd fret of the D string. Ring finger is on the 2nd fret of the G string, and you play from the A, open A down. She never danced me. And then you're going to go to an E suspended 2nd, which is you put your middle finger on the 2nd fret of the A string, your ring finger on the 2nd fret of the D string, and your pinky finger on the 2nd fret of the G string, and you're using the E as the bass. Tension, and then resolve it to an E. First position. So let me play that whole verse and get you oriented there. She's a maniac, maniac on the floor, and she's dancing like she's never danced before. She's a maniac, maniac on the floor, and she's dancing like she's never danced before. Okay, now it goes back to the verse again, plays another whole verse just like we did before. Then they play the chorus again. Then it gets into the solo. There's 2 parts of the solo. There's one with violins on top of a guitar. And then or keyboards in the original recording. And then they play the verse. They actually play the verse twice, and that's when they're playing that lead part that's so memorable. But let me show you the chords. So anyway, on the violin part, it's G, F sharp 7th to a B minor, and you do that 4 times. Sort of building up tension for the lead. okay? And it's going to do the verse with those chords. And then, of course, it gets into that whole lead that's part of that, you know, let's see. That's all I know. Okay, then it goes back to the pre-chorus, which is, it can cut you like a knife if the fit becomes the fire on the wire between what will and what will be. Then it's going to go to the outro, which is essentially the chorus being played over and over again until it's fading out, building up tension. She's a maniac, maniac of the floor. She's dancing like she's never danced before. She's a maniac, maniac on the floor. Okay, well, hopefully that helped you to learn how to play this great tune. This is doable. There's an Italian group, acoustic group, that plays a great version of the song. Maybe a little bit touch too fast, but they do have a great vibe, and they show you how to play it in solo acoustic guitar. So search for Maniac acoustic, and you'll see this Italian group. So as before, if you have any questions about this great early 80s song, go ahead and leave me a question or comment on our YouTube channel. And as before, have a great day, and we'll catch you later.